JMU Athletics and the JMU Alumni Association are teaming up to bring you this free Madison HD Sportsnet feature presentation. From Harrisonburg, Virginia and the campus of James Madison University, welcome to NCAA women's basketball. The UNCW Seahawks have come to town flying high off a last-second win against William & Mary to face the preseason favorites of the Colonial Athletic Association as well as reigning champion Dukes of James Madison, who escaped by a whisker in their home opener, or at least a CAA opener, I should say, here on Sunday against the Towson Tigers. Tonight's game is being presented to you here at the Convocation Center by Aramark and on Madison HD Sportsnet by the JMU Alumni Association, Virginia Lottery, CarMax, Delta Dental, the JMU Graduate School, Intellos Wireless, Old Dominion Realty, Quaker Steak and Lube, Residence Inn, University Outpost, Virginia Blood Services, Virginia 529, Wells Fargo, the JMU Adult Degree Program, Blue Ridge Power Sports, the JMU Bookstore, Klein May Realty, Pepsi, it's the official soft drink of JMU Athletics. Also by Virginia Business Systems, Comcast Sportsnet, and the JMU Duke Club. A warm welcome, everyone. I'm Kurt Dudley, joined once again this evening by Kim Fucci, as we're delighted to bring you tonight's ball game, the second CAA encounter of the season for these two teams, and it could be a historical night as James Madison has its first chance to become only the third NCAA Division I women's basketball program to register 1,000 victories, joining the likes of Tennessee as the Volunteers have 1,259 and Louisiana Tech 1,048. Both those programs certainly have a number of national championship banners in their facilities. Now, of course, there is a connection between those two programs, Kim, as, they have gone to the top. They've gone to the summit.
And you said it, Kurt. They have gone to the summit. Tennessee, of course, was coached by legendary Pat Summitt. And in the 80s and 90s, Louisiana Tech was also a very high program before they had a falling out. And now they are coached by Pat Summitt's son, Tyler, in hopes of getting back to the top of NCAA women's basketball.
Now, the Dukes, they began playing women's basketball in 1920-21. They've had only 6 coaches throughout that time. 2 of them are here tonight. Sheila Mormon, who won 303 games in 15 seasons. And, of course, the current leader of the Dukes, that being Kenny Brooks. And he is 9 wins shy of his 300th victory coaching the Dukes, and he's in his 13th overall year. Great coaches and players have worked to amass the 999 wins, but for the current Dukes, well, the goal is simply to win the next one, and then things will take care of themselves. But in the way of that goal tonight are the Seahawks of UNC Wilmington, which, coming off their thrilling last-second win and seeing how the Towson Tigers took the Dukes down to the wire here on Sunday, well, the Seahawks are coming in with their own ideas of just how this night should turn out.
That's right, Kurt. JMU trailed for 75% of the game versus Towson, and they came back for a 67-66 win. And UNCW also coming off a close win, 63-62 over William & Mary, where CAA Player of the Week Ryan Flowers scored the game-winning layup with 1.9 seconds left. And the last time out these two teams versus each other, Kelva Atkins dropped 33 points versus JMU, but the Dukes won 69-56.
And that was in the CAA quarterfinals last year. We'll look a little more in-depth at that ball game. Let's take a look at how these two teams will match up here tonight as far as the team statistics are concerned. The Dukes a little higher octane as far as the offense is concerned, and really all the numbers favoring JMU. We do have the top 2 rebounding teams in overall averages in the Colonial Athletic Association in the JMU Dukes, ranked number 1, and UNC Wilmington at number 2. We do anticipate a very strong battle inside. Let's take a look at some of the individuals in this game, and we will see just how and who we might expect to battle one another there, Kim.
And who else would you expect besides Precious Hall and Lauren Okafor for the Dukes? Hall averaging 22.6 points per game, shooting 35.1% from beyond the arc, and nationally ranked. She's shooting 90.3% from the free throw line. And Lauren Okafor, she's the rebounder that the Dukes need. She's dominant in the post, 11.9 points per game, 11.1 rebounds per game, and she's shooting 51.9% from the field. And for the Seahawks, Kelva Atkins, 19.3 points per game, 5.9 rebounds per game. She's even an assist leader, 3.7 assists per game. And of course, CAA Player of the Week, like we said, Ryan Flowers, 8.5 points per game, 9.3 rebounds per game, and she's shooting 45.6% from the floor.
And you see the Flowers, the 6'2 Flowers going up against the 6'3 Okafor. That should be a battle down low, and really the player that probably controls that may set the tempo for the rest of the team here tonight. And we don't mention, quite frankly, one of the national assist playmakers for the Dukes of James Madison, and that's their point guard, and Angela Mickens. Her average went up after Sunday's performance, where she had 8 assists. She is now up to 7.7 assists per ball game. She's talking now with the Dukes head coach, Kenny Brooks. Looks like they're having a good conversation in the pregame. Well, stick around. We've got a good ball game on tap for you here tonight on Madison HD Sportsnet, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back and take a look at, well, the early standings in the CAA and a look back at the last game between these two. Right after this timeout, you're watching JMU Women's Basketball here on Madison HD Sportsnet, presented to you by the JMU Alumni Association.
Instead of asking yourself, where did those 4 years go? Think about where the next 40 will take you. Be involved at Madison. Dukes from day one, alumni for life.
Visit the James Madison University Bookstore, your source for all things JMU. Get your official Duke gear. Open after every football game. The JMU Bookstore. Support the team.
Introducing something new from Old Dominion. Our clients have loved our feature-rich mobile site for years. And now you can get all that info in an app. Search the way you like. Discover listings in new ways. From desktop to mobile, we've got you covered. And one more thing, we are the only company in the area to have access to 5 MLS systems. That means you'll get more listings and info here than anywhere else. Guaranteed. Old Dominion Realty. Now that's what you were looking for.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things. Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Get saucy at Quaker Steak and Lube. Feel the heat with new Sriracha Chicken Tacos, Island Jerk Chicken Sandwich, or Sweet Heat Curry Chicken Wrap. Now for a limited time.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Welcome back, everyone, to the JMU Convocation Center. Kurt Dudley, Kim Fucci with you here tonight. Excited about another ball game here at the Convocation Center as the Dukes, they've won 16 in a row here at this facility. If they win number 17 in a row, they'll also set that historical mark of 1,000 career program victories. Let's take a look at, well, just how the first weekend opened up in CAA play with a look at our overall standings coming into tonight's play. Of course, this is only the second conference game, so it's going to be split right down the middle. But you also see that a lot of the teams with winning records on the far ledger there, the overall record also came up with wins on Sunday as a JMU Hofstra Elon in its debut as a member of the CA and women's basketball picked up a win. Drexel, we do anticipate that Denise Dillon, who just picked up, I think, her 200th career win just about a week or 10 days ago, and UNC Wilmington coming in, then things get split the other way. The other games that are on tap tonight, it is a busy night in the CAA. Delaware's at the College of Charleston. Drexel visits Elon. Northeastern is at Hofstra. And William & Mary will visit the Towson Tigers. So we'll see how things play out this evening. These two teams, they've played quite often, but Kim, quite frankly, JMU has dominated this series 54-9. And most recently, they played in the quarterfinals of the CA tournament, and that was last March.
And they did. The Dukes came out with a win in that game because they shot 46% from the field, including 54.2% in the second half, on their way to a CAA semifinal matchup with the Dragons of Drexel.
The Dukes ended up going on and winning the Colonial Athletic Association, of course. And in that ball game last year, Precious Hall finished with 18 points. And as Kim told you earlier, Kelva Atkins, she ended up with 33 points. That's not her career high. It may have been at the time, but she has topped that as she dropped in 40 against the Buccaneers of Charleston Southern earlier this season. But she is very capable of putting points up on the board. And if you haven't figured it out, the pep band has returned from Rome, as well as the rest of the marching Royal Dukes. We're glad to have them back, and they're going to play tonight's national anthem here at the JMU Convocation Center. So we've gone through our series of decades of music. We started with the 60s, went through the 70s and the 80s. Now we have the pep band back to keep us entertained here at the Convocation Center during those otherwise quiet moments. Let's take a look at our starting lineups. First for the Seahawks of UNCW, coming in with a record of 5-4, 1-0 in the Colonial.
A 5'7" sophomore from Newark, New Jersey, and Malcolm X Shabazz High School, Nakia T. A 5'4" senior from STEM, North Carolina, and Granville Central, Kelva Atkins. Out of Myrtle Beach High School in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Shatia Cole, a 5'6" redshirt junior. A 5'9" sophomore from North Cobb in Marietta, Georgia, Amber Reeves. And a 6'2" sophomore from Millbrook in Hickory, North Carolina, Ryan Flowers.
Ryan Flowers, the reigning CAA Player of the Week. Adele Harris is in her third season with the UNCW Seahawks. She is a product of Wake Forest University, finished up in 2002. Her third season, 15-60, and overall 76-90. On it was Midnight Madness. She popped her Achilles heel, and when she was at Media Day in October, she was in a boot. She just had that boot removed, so they're fully healthy, not only their players, but also the coaching staff. As it's good to see to her wearing regular shoes. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Dukes of James Madison now.
A 6'3" redshirt senior from Hamden, Connecticut, in the Hopkins School, Lauren Okafor. A 6'0" senior from Norfolk, Virginia, in Lake Taylor High School, Toia Giggetts. A 5'7" junior from Robert E. Lee in Stanton, Virginia, Angela Mickens. A 6'2" redshirt junior from Bealton, Virginia, and Liberty High School, Jasmine Guathme. And a 5'8" junior from the McClay School in Tallahassee, Florida, Precious Hall.
Of course, the head coach of the JMU Dukes in his 13th season, Kenny Brooks, played right here on this hardwood with Coach Lefty Drizel, finished up in 1992. Kenny's Dukes are currently 10-2, 1-0 in the CAA, and in his 13th year, 291 wins, 115 losses, has taken the Dukes to 9 postseason tournaments, be it the WNIT or the NCAA. As you see there, he's also 17-5 coaching against the Seahawks of UNC Wilmington. I'm starting to think about, we need to go back and look at what his playing career was against teams in the CAA.
That would definitely be interesting.
You know, when he was playing for Coach Drizel. As as we do get set for a busy evening in Colonial Athletic Association women's basketball. This is actually a busy week of CA play. Every team in the conference playing 4 league games in the course of an 8-day stretch in both men and women. The men are all a day ahead of schedule as far as that 8-day is concerned. No games tomorrow, but the women played on Sunday. Tonight they'll play again on Friday and Sunday. The men playing Saturday, Monday, Thursday, Saturday. And the men will be back home facing the Huskies of Northeastern. By the way, UNCW beat the Huskies last night in men's play in Boston. UNCW taking one from the preseason favorite of the Colonial Athletic Association. Today's referees: Brian Brunette, Jennifer Rizak, and Warren Harding Jr. And I'm not sure, there seems to be some pre-game discussion.
Or waiting for the pep band to finish playing.
Well, no, I think the pep band was just kind of drawing it out while this discussion continued on. So not sure what it's all about, but we'll have basketball regardless. And jumping ball, Ryan Flowers against Jasmine Guathmy, and the Dukes win the opening tap with Toia Giggetts needing just 1 point to become the 28th player in JMU women's basketball history to reach 1,000 in her career. Wasn't it nice for her to finish right out at 11? She needed 12 the other evening. And that just adds to the early drama in this game. And there is Giggetts with the basketball, and she's going to get a foul around her, whistled against Shatea Cole. I see, okay. And here comes Muff Bickens, shot just a little too strong. And on the drive, and the miss is Teague, and back comes the James Madison Dukes. So Kim, what were you saying? It had something to do with the white jersey, the white shirts?
We just got a notice from John over here that the delay before the game was because UNCW cannot wear the white T-shirts under their jerseys. So at the first media timeout, they're going to have to change.
Wow, okay. An interesting situation there. It's interesting it didn't occur a little earlier. There's a rebound for Toia Giggetts and a traveling violation against Jasmine Guathmy.
Something interesting about this game is that they feature the top 3 active scorers in the CAA. Precious Hall, Kelva Atkins, and of course Toia Giggetts at 999.
Now Hall leading the way with 1,092, I think it is. And how many does Atkins have?
Atkins is second with 1,058.
And then Giggetts with 999. Here's a drive for Reeves. That's off the glass. Rebound pulled in by Lauren Okafor. Okafor will give it up now. Angela Mickens. Mickens with a bounce pass. Here's Toia Giggetts. There it is. 1,000 and 1,001. So Giggetts hits the first bucket of the game to get her 1,000.
The second player for the Dukes to join the 1,000-point club this season.
And out of bounds it goes. The Dukes will take over as a foul is called. Actually, I'll stand corrected. It was a charging call against Cole. That's her second personal foul.
And we had mentioned Kelva Atkins also reached the 1,000-point club. She did it with 40 points versus Charleston Southern earlier this year. And she scored the 40 points and had the 1,000 points in her career, which was a pretty good day for her.
Down low it goes, and an and one coming up for Lauren Okafor.
And that's what Kenny Brooks needs to look for from Lauren Okafor, especially versus Ryan Flowers.
Foul is on Flowers. As Kim mentioned, that'll be her first, team foul number 3. And one shot for Okafor. And the Dukes off to the 5-0 start. Driving shot, hard off the rim, and a foul on the floor. As battling down low this time, they're going to call it on Okafor. That'll be her first, team foul number 1.
And I think that would be something of concern for Kenny Brooks, especially like we talked about Ryan Flowers down low. You don't want to have to take Okafor out too early in this game.
2 minutes and a second into the contest. Here's Reeves cutting. Now it will come out to Teague. And Kelva Atkins, I remember watching her explode for the 33 points against the Dukes up there in Upper Marlboro, Maryland last March. But she just couldn't carry the team enough, and there's her first 2 of the night. Averaging 19.3 points per game. Mickens on the run. Gets down between, kicks it out. Here's a three-pointer from the corner. It's good. That's Precious Hall hitting her 40th tray of the season. Dukes out in front now 8-2. That's inside the perimeter, and that's off the heel of the rim. Okafor rips down another rebound.
And Kelva Atkins isn't only going to do it on the scoring side. She recorded a career-high 8 assists versus William & Mary on Sunday, marking the second time this season that she has tallied over 7.
Jasmine Guathmy pulls up in the lane, too strong. Rebound tapped out. Here's Amber Reeves, a sophomore from Marietta, Georgia. Out of North Cobb High School. Her shot is short. And the putback, though, put up by Ryan Flowers.
And Flowers was named CAA Player of the Week last week because she averaged 11.7 points per game, and she shot 62.9% from the field.
And she pulled in, what, about 13 rebounds a game, too. Yeah, so she averaged a double-double for the week. Down low, Precious Hall tries to find some space, can't do so. And Bree Mobley, another of the sophomores. Well, the Seahawks comes down with a rebound, giving it up to Teague. Teague out of Newark, New Jersey. Just across the river from the city of New York, of course. And the three-pointer is good as Kelva Atkins hits her 14th of the season. She's 14 for 31. A shooter of 43% accuracy beyond the arc. Doesn't take that many. She's good for one a ball game. Pulls the Seahawks to within 8-7. Jasmine Guathmy tries to find the answer, but there is no response. And a battle for the loose basketball and the jump ball, the possession arrow favoring UNCW. And UNCW will bring in Sarah Myatt, and the Dukes are going to bring in Ashley Perez. But we're going to go to our first media timeout. JMU with the early lead over the Seahawks of UNCW, 8-7. Here on Madison HD Sportsnet, presented to you by the JMU Alumni Association. Well, Pepsi is the official soft drink of JMU Athletics. And again, as I mentioned, the series, the Dukes leading this overall series, 54 wins, just 9 losses. And here we'll see the 1,000th point scored by Toia Giggetts. And she gets makes good on the assist, of course, for one Miss Mickens. There you have it. 28th player to do so. Second Duke this season, so Kenny Brooks with a pair of 1,000 career scorers on the floor at the same time.
Toia Giggetts, definitely someone Kenny Brooks really relies on. She's averaging 27 minutes a game, and she's been a big starter for the Dukes this year so far.
There's Toia getting a little bench time right now as the Dukes have gone to the bench. Destiny Jones, who's played a couple of good back-to-back ball games for the Dukes, is out there, and she creates a scramble on the floor as she gets in right away, and we'll see a foul called against UNCW, and that'll be whistled against Reeves, her first.
I'm sure head coach Adele Harris is very happy with how hard her players are working so far, getting down the floor for the ball, not letting the Dukes take control too early.
Well, Seahawks have always been scrappy. There have been years where that has helped them to come up with a number of victories. As Precious Hall gets her second field goal of the night, she has 5. And the Dukes lead out to three, 10-7. Here's Atkins bringing it across. In addition to her 19 points a game, 5.9 rebounds, and the 3.7 assists.
And she scored in double figures for 21 straight games now, which is the 8th longest streak in JMU history.
So she'll try to work on that. Ball pinballs around Ashley Perez. I think she took it off the forehead, and she's going to get the pass on the opposite end. Runs into some contact. As Sarah Myatt, a redshirt senior from Snow Camp, North Carolina, from Southern Alamance, got a hand on it, blocked it initially. We'll see Jordan Henry come in now, a 6'3" redshirt sophomore from Waxhaw, North Carolina, a transfer from Iona. Number of transfers on this team for the Seahawks. Inbounds pass a little too high for Perez, and streaking down the floor, and coming up is Bree Mobley with the bucket. Mobley averaging 11.3 points per game, and she is a 45% shooter from the field, a sophomore from Winter Haven, Florida.
And you talk about transfers. One of those transfers is Shatia Cole, who transferred from Coastal Carolina University in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Last touch by Gwathmey as it goes out of bounds. Then they have DeAsia Kane on the bench, but she's a transfer from Campbell, but redshirting this year. Good box out, Destiny Jones. Hands it off, Hall, the three-pointer. That's her second.
And usually the Dukes are better at working the ball around the perimeter instead of taking quick shots, but so far so good for JMU tonight.
Dukes are 4 for 11. They count that as a, well, they actually haven't registered that one yet, so they're now 5 for 12, 2 for 4 on three-pointers are the Dukes. The Seahawks 4 for 9, 1 of 1 on trays. Now 4 for 10 after that miss, and the rebound by Gwathmey as she grabs her second board of the night. Mickens top of the circle against Atkins, crosses over, scoops it up, and gets it to fall home. Angela Mickens, in addition to her assist average of 7.7, she scores 8.3.
And Sarah Myatt has to get over to the other side of the post to defend Angela Mickens when she has that type of opening to the basket.
And a charge is called against Myatt. That's number 1 on her. Number 5 against the Seahawks. Only 1 called against JMU. Toia Giggetts will come back in. She did get a round of applause during our media timeout as Jack Kavanaugh announced that she had reached her 1,000th point. And Haley Barron comes in, a 5'10 freshman from Burlington, Vermont, a three-point shooting specialist, we'll call her at this point in her career. She has 3-point field goals and a couple of free throws in her career thus far. Here's Giggetts, strong move, rebound, pulled in by Jordan Henry.
And I think Kenny Brooks wants to get Haley Barron as much time on the court as possible. As a freshman, it's good for her to learn from her upperclassmen teammates.
And a blocking foul called on the young lady who is good for taking charges, and that's Angela Mickens. 29 to go on the season. She's had at least 1 charge call that she has picked up in all 12 games to date.
Angela Visa Mickens, as Kenny Brooks calls her.
I think John Martin wants to take credit for that one. Down inside it goes. Flowers, good box out again this time. It's Giggetts, and the Dukes will come down with the board. JMU with 8 rebounds to 6 for the Seahawks in the first 7.5 minutes. Perez launches a 3. It's good. Ashley Perez didn't play a lot of minutes against Towson the other night, but she comes in and hits a 3 here this evening. The Dukes have doubled up on the Seahawks 18-9.
I think Ashley Perez is somebody Kenny Brooks thinks is very capable of being a leader for this JMU Dukes team.
Jasmine Steele, a 5'1 redshirt sophomore from Alabama. Another transfer. She hits a tray. And up and under again, it's Angela Mickens. Seahawks get back in a hurry. Too strong, tapped around. Perez comes up with it. Tries to spin out of it. Ashley doing a wonderful job just keeping her balance.
A little fancy footwork there, but I don't think she meant it.
I don't think so either. It's a dance move that she didn't know she had. Giggetts, that's a good spot for her, kicks it out. And Barron muffed the pass, ends up being a double dribble.
And she was setting up to take the three-point shot there until she didn't have a good handle on the ball.
The Barron turnover brings us to a timeout. 11:23 to play in the opening half. JMU out in front 20-12 on a quick spurt offensively. We'll be back with more after this timeout as you're watching JMU women's basketball this evening here on Madison HD Sportsnet, presented to you by the JMU Alumni Association.
I knew going to JMU would be more about just getting a master's.
I just knew that it was the place for me.
I feel as though that I'm a part of the institution.
You will never meet a stranger. Everyone is always willing to help you out and to help you through your graduate experience here at James Madison University.
The graduate school here is a great choice.
The education that you receive is top-notch.
It's one of the best in the country. And from here, everything is possible.
The Residence Inn by Marriott provides guests with plenty of room. Room to recharge, room to prepare, room to relax. Stay one night or as long as you like. The Residence Inn by Marriott provides each guest with amenities tailored to their individual needs. Spacious suites with all the comforts of home, because it's not just a room, it's a residence.
11:23 to play here in the first half. The JMU Dukes out in front, 20-12. Madison has hit 4 of its last 5 shots. Meanwhile, the Seahawks, they have hit just 1 of their last 5. Dukes will be in home action on Thursday in men's basketball, and you can hear that game on Madison HD Sportsnet audio. Of course, you can also watch it here on Madison HD Sportsnet video as well. And again, that's coming up on Thursday. Look at a couple of the men's basketball Dukes. That was Jackson Kent and Ron Curry. Curry with 19 points in last night's win. Hard off the glass, another box out, and another rebound by Okafor, although nearly turned it over.
Good defense so far by the Dukes, and it's very good that they're getting off to a fast start, unlike in the last game versus Towson, and they got behind.
Giggetts down and low. Spinning move by Okafor. Gets the rebound, puts it back up and in. Okafor, one of the national leaders in offensive rebounds. She was number 5 in the country going into Sunday's game. Backdoor pass just a little too long.
And we mentioned these two teams are 1 and 2 in the CAA in rebounds, but they're also number 1 and number 2 in offensive rebounds. JMU has 17.6 per game, and UNCW averages 15.9 offensive rebounds per game.
Got a timeout. The shot clock failed to be running, so they're going to check on what's going on across the way. Sometimes you just got to hit the button, huh?
We had a problem versus Towson, too, the other day with the shot clock.
That was in the middle of a Towson possession, and a blocking foul called against the Seahawks. Steele picks up her first. That's team foul number 6. So Gwathmey back in the lineup as Ashley Perez will go to the bench with a 3-pointer. Barron will inbound it for the Dukes. Looks at the options. Difficult pass there. You were mentioning about getting Barron some more playing time. I think, you know, a lot of times freshmen have a difficult time adjusting to the speed of the college game, and I think that's one of the things that Haley's having a struggle with at times. And that's not a knock against Haley. It's just it happens to a lot of freshmen.
And you can definitely tell that on the floor, but I think with obviously all these upperclassmen there on the court with her, she'll learn very fast.
Exactly. And you can't learn unless you get in the ball game in many cases. Oh, rims the cup, but Well, that's one way to pad your offensive rebounding stats.
The Seahawks need to box out. That's going to be critical if they want to win this ballgame. You can't just let Lady Okafor get a rebound and put it back up like that.
Okafor has 4, make that 5 rebounds now. At least 2 of them, I'm aware, are offensive boards. And there's an offensive board by Flowers, but a block by make that Gwathmey, who's got over 100 in her career, and a nifty move at the other end by Precious Hall, who's the first in double figures. She has 10.
And I think Calva Atkins was just a little bit, Precious Hall is a little bit taller, and she couldn't really defend when Hall went up for that bucket right there.
Here comes Steele. Steele with that low dribble. And off the mark, ball came out just a little bit flat on the shot, and Precious Hall with an easy rebound. Drive and a spin move and a charge because of the elbow thrown out by Jasmine Gwathmey.
And Ryan Flowers is doing a good job on defense so far, three-quartering Lauren Okafor when the ball's on her side, and then she's running over to the other side of the box when the ball is passed to the wing.
So working pretty hard there. We have a 30-second timeout. Gives us a chance to catch up on a couple of early scores around the league. Delaware leading Charleston 11-10. Drexel on top of Elon 13-7. Both of those games in the 9th minute of play. William & Mary trailing Towson. That with 9:21 to go in the first. 9-7, low-scoring game there. And Hofstra has gone out to a 17-11 lead over Northeastern. That's 9 minutes into that game. There's a good look at the Pep Band, who are back from their trip. Kenny looking a little casual there. Adele Harris, former Demon Deacon of Wake Forest. Jordan Henry. Here's Atkins. Teague. Comes Atkins to pop out, and Mickens on her. Shot clock down to 7. Skip past the near side. And Hall put some pressure on the shot taken by Johanna McMillan.
An effective but dangerous pass there from Atkins, and McMillan just couldn't get the shot to go in.
Teague whistled for that foul, and that's her first, team foul number 7. So with 8:30 to go, the Dukes are already in the bonus. As Destiny Jones comes back in for Madison, she'll replace Lauren Okafor. Okafor leaving the floor with 7 points and 5 rebounds. Off to a very good start this evening. Rebound, Giggetts takes the bounce and puts it back in.
And you talk about Haley Barron maturing from high school into college. The UNCW Seahawks really need to box out. I have to say, it's the most important part of this game. And if you don't box out, you're not going to win.
That's off the side of the backboard, and a jump ball. Dukes will have the possession error in their favor. Ashley Perez reports back in as Gwathmey. We have yet to see Jasmine really get started. It seems like she'll take 2 steps forward and then 1 step back a lot this year. She did have the one good game at American, which the Dukes needed her. That was real early in the season, where she put in 20-plus points.
And as a fan of the Dukes, it's hard not to notice that. And you wonder, is Kenny Brooks going to bring in Ashley Perez into the starting lineup for Jasmine Gwathmey? But then you think that these starting 5 that Kenny Brooks has had all season work very well together, and I don't think he's going to want to mess that up.
Well, at the end of the non-conference schedule, as I was listening to him talk with David Taylor, Destiny Jones picking up the foul, her first. Could he figure out that team? He just flatly said, no, not yet. We got a lot yet to settle out here. A lot of basketball yet to play this season, a lot yet tonight. The Dukes out in front, 28-12, 7:48 to go in the first. Back with more after this timeout on Madison HD Sportsnet, presented by the JMU Alumni Association.
Now with a full line of independent rear suspension options, the all-new Foreman Rubicon and Rancher automatic DCT models are equally ready to work and have fun. Part of the growing ATV family from Honda.
Blue Ridge Power Sports, where the power is yours.
Introducing something new from Old Dominion. Our clients have loved our feature-rich mobile site for years, and now you can get all that info in an app. Search the way you like. Discover listings in new ways. From desktop to mobile, we've got you covered. And one more thing, we are the only company in the area to have access to 5 MLS systems. That means you'll get more listings and info here than anywhere else. Guaranteed. Old Dominion Realty. Now that's what you were looking for.
Well, Duke's shooting the ball pretty darn good here in the first 12 minutes of this ball game, Kim.
The Dukes are shooting pretty well. They're shooting 50% from the field compared to the Seahawks' 26.3%. UNCW only 5 of 19 on the floor. I think they need to improve that a little bit better. JMU dominating in points in the paint, 14-6. Off turnovers, 7-2. Second chance points, 6-2. And fast break points, 5-2.
Dukes with a 28-12 lead. Seahawks trying to cut into that a little bit here. And the bucket is scored by Atkins as she has 7. Pulling up and dropping in for Angela Mickens. Muff is adding some offense. She's got 6.
Good job by Calva Atkins to cut into the lane and start off the under 8 media timeout with a basket. And good job, Angela Mickens coming right back for the Dukes, scoring that basket.
And Atkins will get fouled. Coming around the corner, Toia Giggetts whistled there. Well, the JMU Alumni Association wants to let you know that the admissions office is looking for alumni to represent JMU at your local or regional college fairs to recruit prospective students from the area. If you're interested, check out the alumni website under volunteer. That foul on Giggetts, her first. Hang on. Little miss exchange from the official to Atkins. And popping out, here's Madison Rocky, a 5'8" freshman from Louisville, Kentucky. 2.3 points per game. Coming off the bench for Harris. Off the front of the iron, no good. We get a whistle, and everybody saw that one. This may go against Okafor.
And on that last inbounds play, you saw number 1, Nakia T, come around the corner, but she went past, and you saw the Madison Rocky come again because it's made to fool the defense, that type of play. You want to get the ball into the second player coming around.
I stand corrected, Kim. The foul was not on Lauren, but on the other 33, Sarah Myatt. As Okafor will go to the free throw line. A 63% free throw shooter. And Lauren with 8 points.
Angela Mickens just talking over there to Lauren Okafor, and she made a signal like everything's going to be okay.
Sometimes Muff talks so fast, only Muff understands what she's saying. Kenny sometimes will say, what? He'll say, slow down, slow down. What were you saying?
Well, she talks as fast as she runs.
She does. It just kind of goes right with her game, doesn't it? Atkins makes some space and tosses it up off the glass. 9 points for Kelva Atkins.
A great shot selection by Kelva Atkins there. Ashley Perez could not do anything to defend that shot.
That is a deep 3 launched by Hall and connected by Hall. And Precious now 3 trays on the night and 13 points. She now has 42 3-pointers in the season. Ball thrown away the other end for the Seahawks, and that is turnover number 6. The Dukes have 5.
Kenny Brooks giving his play signal to Angela Mickens. We'll see what the Dukes are going to run here.
Off the iron, Jones, rebound, ripped down though, as Guafmi going up for the shot, and Jasmine will hustle back defensively. Gets off with a bit of a reach in. And count that as Atkins stays right with it.
And we talked about how Kelva Atkins was the big player in the CAA quarterfinal matchup between these two teams last year. And if UNCW wants to stay in this ball game, they're really going to have to depend on her to score some baskets.
Destiny Jones called for the foul. That's her second. And completing the three-point play is Atkins. She has 12, so she's trying to keep pace with one Precious Hall. And Hall will come back in the lineup after a short reprieve as Destiny Jones checks back out. Destiny, a 6-footer out of Miramar, Florida. They actually played together when they were Scholastic athletes. Miscommunication there as Gwathmey looking to get it inside to Hall. Here comes Atkins. Floater won't go in, but it is going to follow as Rebecca Banks follows it up. Banks just averages 1.3 points per game and 2.5 rebounds per outing.
And one of the rare mistakes from Lauren Okafor there, it just looks like she couldn't find her man to box her out, and that's what led to the Seahawks getting a second chance opportunity.
A high arcing tray, rebound, Gwathmey as she battles a couple of Seahawks for that board as Rocky took the shot. McInnes, Okafor, and Okafor will draw the contact, which is a good thing because she had found herself pretty deep in the lane. That foul goes against Madison Rocky. Team foul number 9, so the Dukes are just a foul away from getting into the double bonus as Okafor goes back to the stripe again. The left-hander a little short off the iron.
I think that's something head coach Adele Harris is going to talk to her team about during halftime, but it's hard. It looks like a lot of these Seahawks are outmatched in size, and especially with Lauren Okafor down low. You have to be careful about where you're going to give up your fouls.
Second shot is good by Okafor. She has 9. So Lauren now with 9 points and 8 rebounds. Oh, excuse me, 5 rebounds. Duke's going to put some pressure on here, Kim. Seahawks will break it as Mobley will get it across. Now she'll streak up and off the iron. Another stoppage of play, another whistle.
And I like the full court pressure by Kenny Brooks. Definitely trying to give his team a good lead going into halftime. Doesn't want another situation like Towson last night. I mean, the other night, Sunday.
Well, in that one, Towson burst out to that 15-2 lead. Dukes took all the way till just under 12 minutes to go before they finally caught him. And the lead changed hands several times as Banks only took her 7th free throw of the season there, misses. And a jump ball, possession error favoring UNCW. That's our 3rd tie-up of the ball game.
And you talk about full court pressure, you're wondering if Adele Harris is going to put her team into a full court pressure. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left. It probably would be a good idea soon if they want to force some more turnovers from the Dukes before the half. So Dukes incorporating that 2-2-1 press where the main objective is to trap at half court on the sideline.
Steele trying to direct the offense. Finds herself in the lane. She got a pretty decent shot as Jones comes away with the rebound. Strong board for Destiny. Mickens, Perez with a move, gets a bit of a screen, launches. And Rocky comes away with the rebound for UNCW. Now they are just, Reeves got good open shot. Instead of really popping up and taking a nice smooth jumper, she just kept leaning forward as if she not necessarily was shooting it, but just tossing it up.
And down by 14, the Seahawks might feel a sense of urgency to get back into this game. Therefore going with the 4 shots, but maybe just improve their shot selection a little bit and try to slow down their game.
Steele with the foul. That's her second. Dukes up 35-21 on the Seahawks of UNCW. Back with more after this timeout You're watching JMU women's basketball this evening here on Madison HD Sportsnet, presented by the JMU Alumni Association. Well, 3:50 to go here in the first half, and we invite you to become a part of the broadcast. You can send us an email here on Madison HD Sportsnet at that address right there, madison@jmu.edu. Would enjoy hearing from folks. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for. That's madison@jmu.edu at halftime. We'll take a little bit of a break. Kim and I will, but we'll get back to some of your emails. Whether you're a fan of the Seahawks or a fan of the Dukes, we're an equal opportunity email answer. And Muff Mickens will go to the free throw line for the Dukes. Angela, 63% shooter at the stripe, 27 of 43. She'll get a couple right here. Hits the first. Right now, the offensive charge, Hall, Mickens, and Okafor. Back-to-back buckets there for Angela. She has 8. The Dukes have a chance here to maybe get 3 players in double figures before halftime with the right combination.
And it looks like Adele Harris talked to her team during the timeout about how to effectively get the ball past half court without facing too much pressure from the JMU Dukes defense.
There's a 3-pointer launched by Rocky. She looked like she's ready to pass it up and then just, hey, I think I'm going to take an open shot here. Nobody's coming out to contest me, and she does connect with it. Rocky with her 6th 3-pointer of the season. Came in 5 for 25. And number 5 of the Dukes drives the baseline. Ashley Perez, her 2nd field goal. She has 5. She averages just under 13 points a game. She was not eligible until the first semester was done. So she has not played the same number of games as the rest of the Dukes have. From the corner, another 3-pointer. That one too good by Rocky.
Nice to see Madison Rocky stepping up. She didn't play in the UNCW last game versus William & Mary, which was a close one.
Seahawks winning that one with 1.9 seconds to go. Down in low, Okafor turns. Rebound ripped away. Here comes Teague with it. Ball knocked away by Okafor, but into the hands of Rocky, who's been hot of late. She misses. Now she's got another 3-point opportunity. Off the iron. And back up and in. Rebecca Banks. Well, Precious Hall was trying to box out one, but they couldn't box them all out. And coming in, crashing the board was Banks. And it's down to a 10-point lead for the Dukes.
And I noticed the Seahawks double teaming Lauren Okafor in that last possession, which caused the Dukes a turnover. So we'll see how that works out the rest of the game.
See there with Banks coming in. Hall was doing her best to keep Teague out of the box, and she did so, but that still opened up that void, and it was filled by Banks, and then she fills the cylinder with the bucket. Perez with a ball rip on the far end. Here's Teague now, or Teague with the defense there. Baseline jumper Teague misjumped on the rebound, rips it then from Perez. And Barron will get a chance, I believe, to go to the free throw line as Teague called for her second foul.
And I hate to be repetitive, but for Teague, she should know better not to just jump up and try to grab the ball. You had Perez right there. She needs to box her out. She did not do.
So Barron will go to the free throw line where she's been there twice this year and she's hit both. That's her first career miss at the free throw line. Bummer, huh?
Bummer. I think the pep band is messing with her a little bit up there.
Well, she can become a career 75% shooter if she hits this one. And she does. How about that? And she's on the board. That's her first point of the night from Burlington, Vermont, out of Rice.
And you can see she's really working hard, especially on defense right here. She's keeping them one pass away, and now she's going to go back to help. Good defense by Barron.
And stole away Okafor. And Muff Mickens has to do a little globetrotter maneuver. Stepping into a three-pointer, Precious Hall. Hall was 16 in the first half, her career high 34. That came against Pittsburgh this year, back in November.
And last year when Kirby Burkholder used to make all those threes, they would say, you got Kirby'd. Maybe they should start saying, you got hauled.
Well, she does haul in some points, there's no doubt about that. Ball bounded around and a foul called. Let's see who they're going to pick. With two officials called at the same time. And it is on Haley Barron. Her first, team foul number 8. Okafor will check out. 47 seconds to go. Perez comes in. Lauren with just the one foul.
And good find there from Amber Reeves to get the ball to Rebecca Banks. And although she didn't make the basket, she's now at the line for 2 shots.
She hits the first. Banks has 5. She's giving some good productivity. She just averages 1.3. She came in just 4 for 13 from the field. And she'll miss the second. Destiny Jones can't corral it. Seahawks with an opportunity to cut into this 13-point deficit before intermission. Atkins lost it going up because she was fouled by Perez. That'll be the first on Perez.
And now with 40 seconds left in the half, I'm sure Kenny Brooks is not happy with his Dukes giving up these silly fouls. He's now talking to Angela Mickens, see what he can do about it. But just silly fouls that the Dukes really can't afford. Up 12 now. Going into the half soon.
And now you've got a much better free throw shooter at the line too, and Atkins as the senior, 76% at the strike this year and hits another. She's got 14 in the first half. A little bit more of the game clock than the shot clock left here in this first half. Mickens spins out. Hall will try another tray, and she's feeling it here tonight.
And Hall's one of those players that is not afraid to take a shot. Even if she has somebody on her, I would not expect, don't expect it, even if she's double teamed, not to take a shot.
She is now 5 for 6 on three-pointers tonight.
CAA preseason player of the year for a reason.
Atkins, almost nearly carried it. She's going to launch a 3, and she hits it with just about a second to play as the Dukes will head up the ramp here with a 46-35 lead over the Seahawks of UNCW. Atkins says, well, Precious Hall, if you can hit a 3, so can I. High scoring first half. The Dukes 46 points to UNCW's 35. You know, it was on this date in history in 1987 that the JMU women's basketball team set the school record for field goals. They had 45 against East Tennessee State. They've got 17 here in the first half tonight.
Well, I think it's a little bit of a reach, but, you know, you never know. Anything is possible,
Well,
right?
46 points in the first half is pretty darn good. So we are at halftime again. Be sure if you'd like to send us an email here at halftime, you're welcome to do so here on Madison HD Sportsnet. There is the email address. We'll give you a little time to get that out. We're going to step aside for a little bit as the Dukes up in the locker room, leading at halftime 46-35 here on Madison HD Sportsnet, presented to you by the JMU Alumni Association.
We all know the importance of continuing your education, whether completing a degree or seeking professional development. Are you thinking about your next step? JMU's Adult Degree Program is designed to create opportunities for adults to pursue an undergrad degree that fits their lifestyle. If completing your degree is something you've been wanting to do, JMU Outreach and Engagement can help you achieve your goal. Call today to learn more. Whatever your next step, JMU Outreach and Engagement is with you every step of the way.
Telos helps every member of the family get a smartphone and the freedom to actually use it. It's 2 gigs of data with unlimited talk and text for only $25 a month. And 0 down on all smartphones. Get the phones you want and save money every month. We'll even buy out your contract. And Telos, wireless for the people.
Glad you decided to come out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Good song right here. Which one's going to be bye 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 on this round? None of them want to say bye, but one of them's got to go.
Hospitality? Okay, good.
They're off to the basket. 3 on 2. He makes his shot down. Rebound comes up down. It's going to be a fight to the finish. Who put their ball down last? Unfortunately, it was you. I'm sorry. Maestro, let's give it up to her. We are down to our final 4. We can spread those out to bring them down here a little bit more. Spread them. Perfect. Perfect. There we go. All right. Let's hear what our DJ has for us. Slowing down the pace a little bit for us. Selena Gomez, Grant. When you're ready, you gotta go get that ball.
Dukes getting 19 points from Precious Hall, while Kelba Atkins with 17 points trying to keep pace with Hall. As the Dukes with the 11-point lead here at the break. And Kim has a look at the other scores, that most of them are at halftime, or all of them are at halftime this evening here in CA play, Kim.
Indeed, all of them are at halftime. Another close one between William and Mary and Towson. William and Mary's up 23-19. Northeastern and Hofstra at the half. Hofstra is up 35-33. Delaware is up 26-23 on Charleston, and Drexel is up 27-18 on Elon.
Here statistically for the Dukes, they shot 17 of 35 in the first half, 48.6%. And at the three-point range, 6 of 9 as P. Hall 5 of 6, and then Ashley Perez 1 of 2. Jasmine Guathmy took the other shot that she missed. Dukes are 6 out of 10 at the free throw line, and they've got 26 rebounds. For UNCW, 13 of 35 from the field, 37.1%, 5 of 10 on three-pointers. That's pretty good accuracy there, the 50%, as Rocky is 2 of 4, and Atkins is 2 of 2. She hit one late in the first half. Atkins, 17 points, have come on 6 of 7 from the field, 2 of 2 on three-pointers, 3 of 3 at the free throw line. She also has 2 assists and 2 rebounds for her 17 points. But the next closest scorer is Rocky with her 2 3-pointers, and that gives her 6 on the evening. And rebounding-wise, the Dukes do lead that one. As I mentioned, they have 26. The Seahawks with 18. Turnovers in the first half. JMU had 8, and UNCW with 7. How about some of the other superlatives there, Kim?
We do have some superlatives for the Dukes fans and the Seahawks fans. JMU is up 18-14 in points in the paint. They were also up 10-4 in points off turnovers. UNCW has taken the lead 8-7 in second chance points. JMU is still up 5-2 in fast break points. And this is a good one. UNCW is up 16-6 in points from the bench.
All right, 46-35, and folks being a little shy tonight. No emails came in during halftime, so if you were thinking that we were ignoring folks, that's not the case. Hopefully they're not ignoring us tonight. Hopefully they're tuned in, and we can send you that email once again. That email address is madizone@jmu.edu, MADIZONE @jmu.edu, and we can still maybe get an email in for you here during the second half of play. Well, Dukes, they will be on the road. They'll head to Northeastern for their next outing. That'll be on Friday night, and then on to William and Mary on Sunday afternoon. That'll be the final game before classes resume as the semester gets back underway next week. And we'll get into the regular academic groove as well as the sports groove, and we'll be approaching actually the indoor track and field teams. Has its first competition in a couple of days. They'll be going up to Annapolis for the Navy Invitational.
Spring sports are slowly approaching, Kurt. Even though we're barely into basketball season, it's funny how things just fly by.
Well, just opening up, early in the conference schedule. So we'll have a good 8 weeks of conference play. And then, of course, tournament time come March. Lauren Okafor, left side, it comes to P. Hall, the 19 points in the first half. She's going to go for her first 2 here in the period. Will not get it, but Lauren Okafor will stick it back, and Lauren is in double figures now as she has 11.
The road to the Showplace Arena, as the CAA likes to call it.
That's right. Showplace Arena in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Usually stay up there at the Gaylord National and at the Harbor. Great hotel. You can easily get lost in that facility. Mickens looking for a screen. Okafor calling for it. Now she'll jump back out of the lane.
Ryan Flowers and Lady Okafor have the same hairstyle going on. I just noticed that they almost look like twins down there on the post.
And Gwathmey goes up for a shot. She'll draw some contact from somebody, and the culprit is Amber Reeves. That's her second personal. Jasmine Gwathmey going to the stripe for the Dukes. She's a 68% shooter, 15 of 22. Jasmine yet to score in today's ball game. The Dukes 4 points from Giggetts, 19 from Hall, 8 from Mickens, Okafor with 11, Perez with 5, and Barron 1. And well, she can't get him at the free throw line, so she puts it back on the follow-up. That frustrates a coach when you give up a follow-up to the shooter. You got to box out the shooter. You were talking about boxing out. Well, that's principle number 1 right there.
And that's communication between the Seahawks. They need to talk to each other and see who's going to box out the shooter.
Turning the corner, this is Cole. She'll get a chance to shoot a couple here for the Seahawks as Lauren Okafor picks up her second foul.
And as far as Gwathmey goes, maybe that will help her get into a little bit of a rhythm here. As we talked about, she hasn't really found herself yet this season, so it'll be interesting to see what she does for the Dukes in the second half.
Cole, a redshirt junior, a former player for Coastal Carolina. Averages 7.7 points per game. That's her first of the night. She's an 83% free throw shooter, now 16 of 19. So bump that average up a bit.
And Cole was a 4-year letter winner in high school at Myrtle Beach High School.
Our own Kelly Moore is also from Myrtle Beach.
And Devon Howard too.
Yep. She went to college at Coastal Carolina. The women's basketball SID here for the JMU Dukes. I see the former SID of women's basketball here tonight. Not a surprise to see Melissa Wise-Carver in the audience, as it could be a historical night. I was wondering, I wonder how many of those wins that she was involved with. She was the women's SID for basketball here from the late 70s up until about 2 years ago.
Some career, definitely.
Yep. Giggetts, who got her 1,000th point early in the ball game, misses on. Usually she makes that shot. Cole will try a 3. Rattles in and out, and Mickens with a rebound. Angela into the forecourt. Stutter steps. She goes up and scores it over Bree Mobley, who had quite a bit of height advantage on her, but the quickness of Mickens puts her in the books again. She has 10. Third Duke in double figures.
Nothing new from Angela Mickens. Dukes fans have seen this before.
Mobley to Teague, back to Mobley again against Gwathmey, and an easy rebound for Okafor as Lauren grabs her 7th board. She's on her way maybe to a double-double here tonight. She needs 3 more rebounds to reach that feat, as a 3-point try by Mickens is good.
And Mickens is pumped up after that one. She just looked into the crowd. She looked really excited.
For Mickens, that's her 4th 3-pointer of the season. She played her high school basketball just south of here, down in Stanton, Virginia. About a 25-minute ride. Nice job as Mobley drops it in. Her second bucket of the evening, 55-39.
I think Mobley's story is a little bit interesting. She was named CAA All-Rookie Team last year after starting 31 of 32 games, but is not in the starting lineup this year for the Seahawks.
Dukes with a turnover. That's number 9 against Madison. Mobley again, and count that. Mobley, same shot, same location, but this time a foul called against Jasmine Gwathmey, as the redshirt junior from Bealton picks up her 3rd personal, and Ashley Perez will come in, as will Destiny Jones. Giggetts and Gwathmey will leave the court, and Mobley at the free throw line, where she is 3 for 4 this season. Can't complete the three-point play, but the rebound controlled by the Seahawks. Cole. We do notice that at halftime, they did remove those T-shirts. The pull-up is good by Mobley as she is heating up here in the second half.
I'm still wondering why those T-shirts were a problem. You've seen a lot of players wear undershirts under their jerseys before.
I don't know if the white was too much of not enough contrast. I'm not sure what the current ruling is of that, quite frankly. That was a fashion that was started by Georgetown. Actually, Patrick Ewing used to wear the T-shirt underneath. That's where I remember it first coming into the game. Foul is called on Ashley Perez, her second. 15:44 to play in the second half. JMU 55, UNCW 43. Back with more after this timeout on Madison HD Sportsnet, presented to you by the JMU Alumni Association.
Is he still in there?
Yeah.
Sleeping in the closet every single night. This has got to stop.
Oh, hey, Elaine. How's it going?
How much longer are you going to be here?
Billy is 5.
6.
12 years. But don't worry about me. I got my pillow pet.
Tame the tuition monster. Visit Virginia529.com and see why it's the nation's largest 529 college savings plan.
Hey, who wants popcorn?
Instead of asking yourself, where did those 4 years go? Think about where the next 40 will take you. Be involved at Madison. Dukes from day one, alumni for life.
.15:44 to play here at the JMU Convocation Center. The Dukes have led from the get-go and leading at the moment 55-43. Dukes now with 3 players in double figures. Hall still has 19, Mickens 13, and Okafor 11. And ball's taken away by Perez. Perez may need some help. Let's make that Hall rather. Hall may need some help. Gets it from Perez. And the foul line extended jumper. Out to Perez again. Dukes do have a new shot clock. Dribble handoff a little too high for a Hall, but she's going to get it inside to Okafor. Mickens, shot clock down to 13. Perez, three-point try. No, she's going to drive, flips it up a little short. Last touch by Okafor out of bounds as she volleys it out.
We saw a little bit of a high pass there, almost went out of bounds, but Angela Mickens jumped up and she reached that ball. I wonder what her vertical jump is.
I would not be surprised if it's a lot more than what one might anticipate, given her stature. The drive, Cole gets a little shove against Mickens, then throws it out of bounds.
And Adele Harris is really working in her bench here. We talked about how UNCW was leading in points off the bench. Only down by 12. Kelva Atkins hasn't seen some time in a while, but when the timeout happened, she was the first one to get off the bench and congratulate her teammates on what a good job they were doing.
Well, maybe also if they stay, they're in contact here, so of course Atkins can give you points in a hurry. And we get a holding call against Perez. That's her third. Kenny Brooks on the JMU bench with Jasmine Gwathmey beside him. There's Adele Harris. She has Atkins beside her. Mobley trying to make a move. Holds that pivot foot well. Cole Shot clock down to 10. Cole will take the shot as the Dukes defense sagged just enough. Cole has her first field goal of the night, 26th of the year, and it's a 10-point game again.
Cole had her career high in points with 14 on November 16th versus UNC Pembroke.
Ball knocked away. Mickens will track it down before it goes into the backcourt. Mickens, a bit of a screen from Jones. That's inside the keyhole. And a little tie up there between. John Salem just pointed out he doesn't see Coach O'Regan on the bench. I'm not sure why he is not this evening. I don't recall seeing him in the pregame as well. Of course, a lot of folks with sicknesses here with that flu bug. That's one of the first things you can think about when somebody's not in attendance and you expect them to be, but I don't know that. Just know we don't see him on the bench here this evening.
Coach O'Regan has a couple of kids at home and is really always susceptible to illness.
Absolutely. Foul was called against Banks, her first. A bump by Cole. Giggetts. And a foul. A blocking situation called against the Seahawks.
Gotta love Giggetts. All her JMU Dukes teammates rush to go help her up. Really tell that these girls love playing with each other.
Comes well. That's a dangerous pass. And it ends up as a turnover as Teague takes it away. Teague goes coast to coast, then she tries to drop it off to Cole, and she flips it up and in.
That's dangerous, not just basketball-wise, but physically as well. The last thing you want to see is Precious Hall get hurt on that kind of pass going up against a Seahawk player.
And the Dukes will use a quick timeout here. Kenny Brooks utilizing a 30-second timeout. That will become a full timeout here at the Convocation Center. But we'll keep it right here. Take a look at the upcoming games for JMU men's basketball. We've got a graphic we can help to show you what their schedule looks like. There it is. Dukes at home here on Thursday night against the Northeastern Huskies. Then Saturday at William and Mary up to face the Drexel Dragons. I can't figure out what's going on with Drexel. Drexel off to an 0-2 start, not scoring very much. They do have Damian Lee back, but I guess just too much lost. And not enough regained yet for Bruiser Flint and the Dragons. Then we'll see for the first time the Phoenix of Elon as a member of the CAA, and that's an 8 o'clock ball game. Actually, Taylor Mickleberry will be here to do the play-by-play that night. I'm going to be with the JMU football Dukes. That's their banquet night. That'll be a busy day, actually. We not only have the men's basketball game. Earlier in the day, we're going to have the swimming and diving Dukes. They have a dual meet against Liberty. So we're going to have that for you earlier in the day. And then the Dukes will travel up to Boston for a rematch with Northeastern. We're going to see a little NCAA ice hockey during that trip to Boston.
You know who's, I think, #1 in ice hockey right now?
Who's that?
North Dakota State University.
Oh, is it really?
Big FCS football
Yeah.
rival. Not really rival, but they're big players in the FCS championship.
We're going to go see a game at Boston College. Count that, the and one. For Lauren Okafor, who has 13 now.
And the Seahawks doing a good job of hanging around right now. Only down 10. They're shooting 55.6% in the second half compared to the Dukes' 26.7% in the second half.
Teague picks up her third foul. That's a concern for the Seahawks as Okafor goes to the line. Misses. Okafor with 21 points against Houston. That's her JMU career high. Started off her collegiate career at Providence. Really did a nice job of getting herself in basketball readiness during the offseason.
You have to love that transformation from Lauren Okafor. That's really dedication that she wants to be a big part of this JMU Dukes team.
There is the shot that falls, but it'll be waved off. And a foul called against the Dukes prior to the shot. It's called on Giggetts, her second personal. Team foul number 5 here in the second half. Behind the back for Cole, flips it up. That's a nifty shot. It will not go, though, for the point guard, as the other point guard, Angela Mickens, comes up with the loose basketball. Here's Mickens driving. Out to Giggetts. Gwathmey. Mickens went way out of the play. She nearly was sitting in the bleacher area after she finished the play. Shot clock down to 4. Mickens is going to have to launch a tray off the iron. No good. Cole with a rebound. Cole leading the way, and the pass just a little too far for Teague, who was a bit back on the play.
And Calva Atkins and Ryan Flowers still sitting out for the Seahawks. Under 12 media timeout. I wonder if Adele Harris will consider putting them back in here.
We'll see when we return. The Dukes up by 10, 11-16 to play. Back with more after this timeout on Madison HD Sportsnet, presented by the JMU Alumni Association.
There's a great place to find high-quality cars without the hassles. And it all starts here, at CarMax.
We believe that buying a high-quality used car should be hassle-free. So at CarMax, we start with a low, no-haggle price on every car.
With a great selection on every lot, you can test drive an incredible variety of cars all in one place.
And every CarMax car is protected with a 30-day warranty and a 5-day money-back guarantee.
So when you're ready to start the search for your next car, come see the way car buying should be at CarMax. Start here.
Telos helps every member of the family get a smartphone and the freedom to actually use it. It's 2 gigs of data with unlimited talk and text for only $25 a month. And 0 down on all smartphones. Get the phones you want and save money every month. We'll even buy out your contract. Telos, wireless for the people.
$11:16 to go in regulation here. The Dukes up by 10, 57-47. Kim was saying, kind of curious as to what the personnel will be here for the Seahawks when they come back out on the floor, as a couple of their top players have been out of the lineup for a considerable length of time.
And great job by the Seahawks team, though, off the bench to keep this game within 10. Pretty good. Adele Harris should be proud, and we will see, but it doesn't look like Calva Atkins and Ryan Flowers are coming back in. Well, Calva Atkins is coming back in.
Atkins does come in. My theory is that she feels like they're in contact, even though it is a double-digit lead. That certainly is in contact, particularly with three-pointer in the collegiate game. But, you know, to keep them fresh for a while, because they can come out and all of a sudden put you right back into a ball game with their scoring ability. Of course, the Dukes just need to do a better job of taking care of the basketball at times here, too, in the second half. Gwathmey will drive, spins, not quite, as she is cut off nicely by Reeves.
I haven't seen too much rhythm from the Dukes today. There hasn't been really a set play where they've excelled.
Long rebound comes out to P. Hall. The Dukes will reload. Mickens, here's Giggetts, baseline jumper. That's no good. And nicely done as Mobley maintained her balance. And there's the charge. Is that Mickens that takes the blow? It is. Calva Atkins. So make that, what, number 30 now for Muff Mickens.
And that looked like it hurt, man. Mickens is small, but she is tough. Good ball movement by the Dukes. Try to look for a good quality shot here.
Well, that's going to draw a foul. That's quick 2 fouls against Atkins. That's only her second. So Precious Hall, who is scoreless here in this second half. She had 19 at intermission. Still sitting on 19. We'll have a chance to get 20 in there. Nope, not quite.
Both leaders for the teams, Precious Hall and Calva Atkins, having a little bit of a falling out in the second half.
So Hall goes back to the line. And there it is. Precious' first point of the second half. She's got 20. She averages 22.6. Mickens harassing in the backcourt. And Duke's double team as Hall knocked it away. Here's Precious. And she takes a bit of a Euro step there and gets it to fall. A little hesitation.
Nice move by Precious Hall to the lane to get the layup.
And the Dukes out by 13 with 9:48 to go. And Adele Harris calling a timeout. Dukes did a nice job of double teaming to knock the ball away, creating the fast break opportunity.
If you're Adele Harris, I see you're talking to Calva Atkins right now. You're asking your player what needs to be done for the Seahawks to get back into this ball game down 13. What's going to propel a run to see if the Seahawks can win this game?
Taking a look at something on the monitor across the way, Kim. I'm not sure what they're taking a peek at.
Well, always good for the refs to be sure of a certain call they're going to make.
All right, play will resume. Teague will have the inbound for the Seahawks, who trailed it by 13 after the turnover. Reeves, as they whip it around a bit. Mobley had a little hot streak early in the second half. She's going to try it from the left side, and she cans it. Mobley has 10. She becomes the second Seahawk to reach double figures here this evening.
Great job by Lauren Okafor there to hedge a little bit and then get back to covering her girl, Rebecca Banks.
Down inside, the inside-outside game. Mickens was looking for Destiny Jones. Jones had turned her head, and Teague knocked it away. Pulling up Mobley will miss on this one, and Jones with a rebound. Nope, I'm sorry, that is actually Precious Hall. I just saw the headbands. Of course, everybody's got headbands on out there playing for the Dukes, with the exception of Okafor. Perez inside. Okafor double teamed and a foul called. Take your pick here. Let's see who they choose. Teague, and that is 4 on Teague.
And Ryan Flowers still not back in for the Seahawks. Adele Harris must think that the double team of Rebecca Banks and Nakia Teague is stopping Lauren Okafor a little bit here from dominating the post.
Well, look who's up right off the bench, just as you mentioned that. As Okafor at the free throw line. Now with 14 for Lady.
And that is because Nikki obviously has the 4 fouls. We'll see if Ryan Flowers can help her team out a little bit here.
Flowers only 2 points tonight. She is 1 for 4 from the field. She has a couple of rebounds. Okafor in and out, and make that 3 rebounds now for Flowers.
And she usually averages 9.3 a game, so she's a little bit short tonight.
Well, remember, she averaged a double-double throughout last week in 3 games. but not very effective here today. Mobley may have gotten away with steps there. Ball looking for Flowers. Knocked out by one of the Dukes. Here comes Gwathmey. Okafor will take a breather. And the baseline jumper comes out off the floor. Hall comes up with a rebound. She was trying to pass it along to Mickens. Cole instead comes away with it to Reeves. Reeves on the baseline. Pass goes out. Mobley. Mobley spins, getting away from Hall. Reeves tried the ball rip. And the scrum on the floor results in a jump ball. But the possession arrow will remain in the direction of UNCW.
Only up by 12. The Dukes need to be a little bit careful, especially on that fast break in the last possession, to keep better control of the ball.
Foul called. Is that called on Jones? For Destiny, that's her third. And a charge, a blocking foul. Legal screen actually set up by UNCW. That whistle goes against Rebecca Banks. That's her third, team foul number 8. Let's take a look at it there.
Good patience by Angela Mickens, waiting to get the open pass to get a quality shot.
Set back by Gwathmey, off the iron, no good. Perez tries the follow-up. It won't fall for her as well. Here comes Cole again. Behind the back for Cole. Here's Rocky. She hit a couple of three-pointers in the first half. Dukes maintaining the 12-point lead. JMU just keeping the Seahawks a wing's length, we'll say. Shot clock at 3. In and out. And Mickens with the rebound. And a turnover for the Dukes, and a timeout on the floor.
I think the theme of this game could definitely be sloppy by both teams.
7:02 to go in the second half. JMU 61, UNCW 49. Back with more after this timeout on Madison HD Sportsnet, presented to you by the JMU Alumni Association.
You can't keep putting it off.
Hey, I overheard your other issue. You know we can take care of that too.
You do? Prostate exams?
Well, yeah, it's the same thing, just for cars. We'll bundle it. It'll be cheaper.
I like cheaper.
Pretty much the same isn't the same.
It's cheaper!
Want the facts? Learn more at that'sthetruth.com.
Back error.
Center, the Dukes with the 61-49 lead. 7:02 yet to play. Down low, Lauren Okafor. That's an and-one opportunity for her earlier in this half. Atkins drives into Muff Mickens, who picks up her 30th charge call on the season. Pick up by Bree. Duke's just not shooting the ball very well here in the second half. The numbers bear that out.
26.1% from the field, 6 of 23 shooting for the Dukes in this second half. And they're really being dominated from points from the bench, 24-6 by the Seahawks.
All right, Dukes will come back out with Hall and Mickens, also Perez, Gwathmey, Destiny Jones. Rocky stays out there, as does Cole, Flowers, Mobley, and Banks for UNCW. Mobley in double figures this evening. Turns, shoots, good shot. She just back down space into the lane.
And nothing new from Bree Mobley. She scored 20 points off the bench in the loss to Richmond on December 17th.
She's accounting for a lot of those bench points here tonight. Dukes 1 for their last 7. Make that 1 for their last 8. Jones goes up, 1 for 9. Rebound fought for, tapped out by Gwathmey into the hands of Hall. Mickens. Left wing, Gwathmey. She'll drive, pulls up, backs it in.
Overall, great sequence, especially from Jasmine Gwathmey. Instead of taking that long-range shot, she pulled up and got a little bit of a layup going.
So the Dukes 1 of their last 5, 2 of their last 10, but back up by 12. Gwathmey picking up the bucket, her second of the night. Nice stop and pop by Mobley. Rebound controlled by Precious Hall. Hall with 9 rebounds. She's approaching a double-double. She's got 22 points.
You know, that's the 22nd consecutive game that Precious Hall has scored in double digits.
The 5:23 yet to go. Mickens up and under. Board control by Banks. Mobley, Hall tapped it away for a moment there. Mobley spins and taken away by Gwathmey. Mobley comes up with either a cramp or twisted her ankle out of the play, and just Destiny Jones finishes at the opposite end for her first bucket. Cole will come across the midcourt stripe, drives and finishes. Dukes up by 12. Gwathmey had all day to take that shot off the iron. Jasmine now 2 for 9 from the field, 0 for 4 on three-pointers.
Gwathmey looking a little bit frustrated, but she just has to keep her head in the game here. Final 4:18 and get the Dukes a win.
And a foul, I think, on Gwathmey. She got a little elbow out there as Atkins was passing by. That's the 4th personal on Jasmine. So at the free throw line goes Atkins. She's yet to score here in this second half. Of course, she's been on the bench a lot of this second half, too. Can't score from there, can you?
Nope.
Did you ever do that?
No, I don't think so. Unfortunately,
you might have made history. You would have made history with that. The Dukes with a 12-point lead and 4 minutes to play. Okafor. Giggetts, good.
Good job by Okafor to get the ball back out to Giggetts for a good quality shot.
So Toia now has 6. That gives her 1,005 career points.
And Toia is not one of those girls that's going to go off for 20, 25 points. She is capable of it, but she's more of a team player, which I'm sure Kenny Brooks really appreciates.
Atkins is bumped as she's driving down the lane. Angela Mickens called for her second personal. 3:40 remaining. Dukes on top, 67-53. Back with more after this timeout. You're watching JMU Women's Basketball on Madison HD Sportsnet, presented to you by the JMU Alumni Association.
Virginia Business Systems delivers fast-forward document solutions to help JMU athletics build the teams they need to win. With over 7 offices and over 70 employees in Virginia, we strive to deliver the best in digital document technology. VBS Innovation takes our clients to new levels. But we're not just a proud supporter, we're also a Duke Club member, and we're owned by 2 JMU alums. Go Virginia Business Systems.
Well, fans enjoying themselves as they typically do here at the Convocation Center. They're trying to win some t-shirts at this particular stage. There's Dr. Mark Warner in the crowd tonight.
With 3:40 left in this ball game, Kurt. UNCW down by 14. Adele Harris looks like she's trying to mix and match her players. Maybe she's still trying to figure out what the best starting lineup is for her team going forward.
Well, Atkins back at the free throw line again. The scoreless here in the second half remains so. Comes Mobley back in. Mobley with 12 points tonight. That's right at her average. Came in with 11.3 points per game.
Off the bench, nonetheless.
Atkins breaks the ice for her scoring in the second half. She's got 18. 67-54. 67, what the magic number was for the Dukes here on Sunday when they beat Towson 67-66. In and out game, and it goes again, and Okafor a little too strong. Atkins with the rebound. Hall swatted at it. Precious trying to not make contact with Atkins as they both come down to the attacking zone for the Seahawks.
And I don't think it'll happen tonight, Kurt, but you know Dukes fans want those 12 more points. It's that special number.
That's right. Head on over to Chick-fil-A anytime the Dukes hit 79. Get free nuggets. But there's still time enough to do that with a quick outburst.
Maybe just have every player take a shot from beyond the arc.
Okafor now with the double-double. That was her 10th rebound. She's 14 points and 10 boards. And they may have given her an assist on that. It took a little while for Giggetts to get the shot up, but a very good possibility. Okafor with 1 assist tonight.
Great job by Giggetts. Basically standing under the basket, was still able to get the ball through the hoop.
That ball rejected by the Dukes. Hall. Mickens picks up the loose basketball. Now she'll run into some trouble. Jump ball, Dukes will maintain possession. And Gwathmey will come back in for Madison. She does have 4 fouls. On the inbounds, 3-pointer, and it tumbles through.
Kurt, I think I spoke too soon. 2 minutes left and 7 points away.
25 points now for Precious Hall, and that is her 6th 3-pointer of the night. Ball knocked away. Muff Mickens, she can go coast to coast here. And she does so. 15. And the lead suddenly is at 20 rather. Gwathmey picks up the foul. That's her 5th. Been a tough night for Jasmine. Again, she still struggling just to get on track.
And I'm sure that's frustrating for Jasmine Gwathmey, as dominant as she was last year for the Dukes. I'm sure it's tough for her mentally to figure out how she's going to find a way to contribute to the JMU Dukes basketball team.
And Bree Mobley goes to the free throw line. Mobley's provided a spark here. That's 13 now for number 2.
And that's nothing new for Bree Mobley. She scored 11 off the bench in UNCW's close win over William & Mary.
Right at her average. And the Dukes just content with running out clock now. And the 5th personal called on Nakaya T. So both teams now with a player being disqualified, and Mickens at the free throw line, a 1-and-1. They're starting to hand out streamers here at the combo.
I'm scared, Kurt.
Are you?
It's usually a football thing.
They don't hurt you. The Dukes anticipate that they're about to reach that milestone.
Well, you know what I'm scared of is a lot of people don't know how to throw them, and it winds up just becoming a whole thing of somebody hitting the head or something.
It won't hurt, Kim. Trust me. This is where the streamers, actually the streamer history began at basketball games over at Godwin Hall. The students would go to all the bathrooms and take out all the toilet paper and would bring it to the Godwin Hall, and on the first bucket scored by the Dukes, they would throw the toilet paper out.
Oh, just your usual shenanigans, you know.
That's right. But, of course, it became outlawed because it disrupted the game. So it ended up becoming a tradition for football games where it wouldn't disrupt the flow of the game or the play of the game. Rebound by Giggetts. And stick around because during the postgame we will have a brief ceremony to recognize the accomplishment of this women's basketball program that began playing in the 1920s. Mickens up and under, no contact. And I think Lauren, she saw Destiny Jones and thought she was in the game and tossed it over there.
I thought that too for a second. She standing over there pretty close to the three-point line.
And stolen away by Perez, and she'll just dribble the clock out. As the Dukes win their 1,000th program game, their 11th here of 2014-15. Kenny Brooks now 8 wins away from 300. And the Dukes, they now join the elite company. Tennessee and Louisiana Tech, they're at the summit, but the Dukes are not too far behind. 1,000 wins in program history. They did pass out some streamers to the fans.
I'm not seeing too many streamers flying around, though.
There was a little note on the streamer that said, please hold until after the game, or it's until the ceremony. So they're trying to orchestrate a little deal here. There's Gabby, the youngest of the Brooks children. And so now Mr. Kavanaugh. We do have the special presentation. As I mentioned, the Dukes began in 1920-21. 16 head coaches, I think I said 6 in the open, has won 7 conference championships and earned 10 trips to the NCAA tournament, along with many other accolades and milestones, of course, along the way. And tonight, the Dukes do win their 1,000th program victory. And there it is, 1,000. And Sheila Mormon out on the floor as well. There's Coach Mormon.
And she has to be proud for as long as she coached the Dukes, and she was the athletic director too.
Well, she accounted for 303 victories. Kenny Brooks now with 292. And now they're going to throw the streamers. There we go. I did get hit. Did you get hit?
No, I didn't. I told you you would, though, Kurt.
All right.
Throw it back at him.
Well, that was fun.
Glad to be a part of it.
So streamers do fly here at the Convocation Center as the Dukes, they do enjoy the program's 1,000th victory. Kim and I will be back to recap this win for the Dukes after this quick timeout here on Madison HD Sportsnet, presented to you by the JMU Alumni Association.
The Residence Inn by Marriott provides guests with plenty of room. Room to recharge. Room to prepare. Room to relax. Stay one night or as long as you like. The Residence Inn by Marriott provides each guest with amenities tailored to their individual needs. Spacious suites with all the comforts of home, because it's not just a room, it's a residence.
Well, that was the first time I've seen players throw streamers back at the fans as they were leaving the court. The Dukes grabbed a lot of those that were not quite unwound and tossed them back out. A lot of them still have quite a bit of streamer left in them here this evening as the Dukes with the 74-57 win tonight, as JMU improved again to 11-2 overall and to 2-0 in the Colonial Athletic Association. Other scores around the league tonight. Drexel defeats Elon 57-47. It was the College of Charleston over Delaware 55-49. Towson leading William & Mary in overtime 65-58. And Northeastern and Hofstra in overtime. That tied at 69 with 1:35 to go. Actually, that's in regulation, not quite in overtime, but there's a chance it might end up in OT.
That Charleston-Delaware score surprises me a little bit.
Does it?
Yeah. I mean, head coach Tina Martin, a few years removed from Elena Deladon's, legacy. And Charleston, I think, was ranked last. I mean, they were 2-10 coming in, something like that. So, but, good job for them.
All right, take a look at some of the final statistics here tonight. I think they're among all of our streamers here. As the Seahawks ended up shooting 38.2%, 21 of 55. 5 of 11 on three-pointers, that is, 45.5%. 10 of 16 from the stripe, 62.5%. For the Dukes, 29 of 71, so they still were well off the record of 45 field goals that we chatted about in the first half. But that was 41% for the Dukes, 8 of 15 on three-pointers. That's a healthy 53.3%. Helped a lot by Precious Hall, who was 6 for 7. And the Dukes only 8 of 18 at the free throw line. That certainly could be better, only 44% at the stripe. How often do you shoot better from three-point range than you do at the free throw line? Very rare.
Very often.
Dukes controlled the boards 54-33. JMU with 24 offensive rebounds, although that only led to 18 second chance points. So that kind of tells me, and there were stretches where we would get a rebound, you'd see the Dukes get a rebound, call a putback, and end up missing again. So there were several of those flurries. and that can bulk up those numbers in a hurry. Also, let's see here. Only 5 assists for UNCW, 15 turnovers, 5 blocks, and a steal for the Dukes. 14 assists, 8 of those by Angela Mickens. Back-to-back 8-assist games, so her average will climb even more as she has 14 turnovers for the Dukes, 2 blocks, and 6 steals. Dukes are up 46-35 at halftime and outscored the Seahawks just 28-22 in the second half. Points and rebounds tonight, 18 for Kelva Atkins, but 17 of those in the first half. She finished with 3 rebounds, 2 assists, played 24 minutes. No points, 5 rebounds for Teague. She had 2 assists. Flowers, 2 points and 4 rebounds for the reigning player of the week. Cole with 8 points, no assist, although she was the primary ball handler for 20 minutes. 2 rebounds. Reeves, no points, 4 rebounds, 14 points and 4 boards for Bree Mobley. 6 points and a rebound for Rocky, that is, excuse me. 3 points for Steele. 6.6 rebounds for Banks and 1 for Henry. And Myatt with 1 rebound and no points. For the Dukes, 25 for Precious Hall. She ends up with a double-double, 25 points, 10 rebounds. The Dukes also had 14 points and 11 boards for Lauren Okafor. We'll take a look at some of those specialty stats after a commercial break, but they may qualify in that area. Toia Giggetts, 8 points and 7 rebounds. Jasmine Gwathmey, 4 points, 8 rebounds before she did foul out. Angela Mickens, 15 points, 8 assists, 3 rebounds. She did have 4 turnovers, but got 2 of them back on steals. 2 points and 4 boards for Destiny Jones. Ashley Perez off the bench, 5 points and 5 rebounds. And Haley Barron, she did have 1 point and a board tonight. Dukes led from wire to wire in this one in picking up their 11th win of the season, number 1,000 in the history of the program. We'll be back with a final word and take a look at some of the interesting stats out of this ball game right after this timeout, as you're watching JMU Women's Basketball on Madison HD Sportsnet, presented by the JMU Alumni Association.
My experience with Glenn and May was amazing.
Our agent was very helpful through the whole process.
There was investment into our interest, more so than just trying to quickly get to a sale.
You know, he's not only my agent, but my friend.
I felt very much like family. Really was very well taken care of, and very, very pleased with the entire experience.
Welcome back. We're getting the day of Chrissy Brooks here today, as she had all kinds of games. When you have 3 daughters that play basketball, plus the other 15 that play for your husband, that's a lot of girls to keep up with, certainly, and Chrissy has been doing that. Heck, she was here during the first part of the Towson game, went over to UREC for Gabby to play, and then came back. It's been quite a stir for her there. A couple of other updates in the overtime. Towson leading William & Mary 73-63 with 1:09 to go, and they are going into overtime. Northeastern and Hofstra tied at 73. Let's take a look at the Devin Howard post-game specialty stats now. Kim has those for us.
These are very special stats from Devin Howard. Senior forward Toia Giggetts became the 28th Duke to have 1,000 career points with her first basket of the game, and that's obviously the second Duke this season because Precious Hall was the first. And this might be a little surprising, but Precious Hall had 10 rebounds. She set a career high and was her first double-double of the season and of her career, 25 points, 10 rebounds. Jasmine Gwathmey had a season-high 8 rebounds. And the Duke shot 66.7% from three-point range in the first half. That's the highest percentage in a half from beyond the arc since shooting 75% at Drexel on February 16, 2014. And of course, like we said, JMU becomes the 3rd team in NCAA history to reach 1,000 program wins. And 17 consecutive wins at home, 13 consecutive wins versus CAA teams, And another good stat, 20 consecutive games of 2,000 plus fans at the Convocation Center for the Dukes.
All right, did we have the actual attendance on this? No, we don't have it on there. Oh, 2,020. Okay, so just over that here tonight to witness the Dukes record-setting situation. And yeah, Precious Hall, her previous career high was 9 rebounds. So she does come up with her first career double-double here this evening. 17 consecutive wins. The record, by the way, is 39. So Dukes certainly have a ways to go to threaten that. And I think that ties for third the longest all-time winning streak in home games for the Dukes of James Madison. And let me take a look at that. Yeah, and actually the third time that Kenny Brooks has, a second time he's reached 17. Brooks with his team from 05 through 08, they won 30 consecutive at home. Sheila Moorman, her teams through the stretch of 1986 to 1990 won 39 consecutive home games here at the Convocation Center. Well, Kim, we expected a possibility of history being made tonight. You never know, but it was kind of nice to be a part of it.
I definitely say it was nice to be a part of it. I told you before the game about the Summits and Pat Summit growing up. She was definitely my mentor growing up, and now to see her son Tyler at Louisiana Tech trying to get their team back into business, and it's just really awesome. I mean, to go to a school that's only the third, in history to reach 1,000 career program wins, and I'm sure all the coaches in the past, wherever they are now, I'm sure they're very happy, and Kenny Brooks is very happy, and I'm sure these girls right now are glad to be a part of this. Well,
and congratulations to every individual, whether they were a player, a manager, a trainer, a sports information director, athletic administrator. If you were associated in one form or fashion with this JMU women's basketball program, you can take a little credit for reaching 1,000 wins today, because it takes a lot to do that. And Coach Kenny Brooks now walking behind us as he's heading over to do his post-game radio with Nikki Newman, who certainly had her impact, as well as David Taylor, who's had his impact on the ball game as he has called many of the victories for the Dukes over the last 30 years or so. So that will do it here tonight. Nice job there, Kim. Thank you once again for joining us. We'll see you here again on Thursday night, as our next ball game will be the Dukes and the Northeastern Huskies in men's action. Brian Reese will be in town. He's coming back from his winter break, and so he'll join me here courtside for his commentary. And Kim will be providing some insight from courtside as well. And that's coming up on Thursday night, the Dukes and the Northeastern Huskies. Some other folks we want to thank here tonight. Eric Rue for his fine notes from UNCW. Devin Howard of JMU, already mentioned her, but she keeps us informed and up to date on things happening with the Dukes. Our assistant athletics director for athletics communication here at JMU, John Martin. Executive producer was John Salem. Justin Roth was our director tonight. Also thanks to all the camera operators from Telemedia Productions. Also thanks to our sponsors, including Aramark, the JMU Alumni Association, the Virginia Lottery, CarMax, Delta Dental, the JMU Graduate School, Intellos Wireless, Old Dominion Realty, Quaker Steak and Lube, Residence Inn, University Outpost, Virginia Blood Services, Virginia 529, Wells Fargo, the JMU Adult Degree Program, Blue Ridge Power Sports, the JMU Bookstore, Klein May Realty, Pepsi, the official soft drink of JMU Athletics, Virginia Business Systems, Comcast Sportsnet, and the JMU Duke Club. So for Kim Fucci, I'm Kurt Dudley. Once again, our final score here tonight. The Dukes defeat the Seahawks of UNCW 74-57. Good night, everyone, from the JMU Convocation Center. This has been a Madison HD Sportsnet production, presented to you by the JMU Alumni Association. Good night.